never having been picked, never having been wanted, never having been desired, as you go through all of these years. 27 years for me. 27 years. I'm so over waiting. Like, when is it going to be my turn?
I'm single. I'm 35. And quite honestly, I'm lonely.
All over the world, people are waking up and realizing they're not as connected as they thought. You scroll past hundreds of faces every day. You match, you text, you post, you heart. But when was the last time you felt seen? Past the fake smiles, past the rose, past the pretending. When was the last time a conversation actually went deep?
Feel like I'm back in that hopeless pit where I'm just like, when's it gonna be my turn? Why is it taking so long?
It sucks being 32 and single and seeing all your friends get engaged and not even being close to that.
Some call it a dating problem. Some say it's social media. Others blame the economy, the culture, the politics. Everything but the truth. We're lonely, and most of us don't even want to admit it. The U.S. Surgeon General declared loneliness a public health epidemic, one as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But what if we flip the question? What if being alone isn't always something that's happening to us? What if it's something more people are choosing, quietly, intentionally, because connection has just started feeling unsafe? What if loneliness isn't a warning sign? What if it's a reset? Why dating, friendship, even family ties are changing? Why loneliness is rising? And why some of the people choosing it might not be falling behind. They might just be stepping into something stronger.
Like right now I'm on my journey, like I don't want to be with nobody. I'm having a great time with myself. I love myself. I do. For the first time in my life, I could cry. I love myself. I'm learning to love myself more, but I do love myself. See, go and get your nails and feet did, that's not loving yourself.
Why you say that?
That's just maintenance.
It is maintenance.
You ain't by yourself with yourself. See, when you get by yourself, sometimes the thoughts be so loud, you can't even stand your own self.
Loneliness wasn't some sudden glitch in the system. It's been building up slowly, quietly, like background noise we just learned to live with. So, where did it start? It depends on who you ask. Think about how the world has shifted. Not just the technology, but the energy. What used to feel playful now feels risky. A smile at the wrong moment. A compliment said too loud. The rules have changed. And connection suddenly feels like a gamble. Some say it started when we began replacing connection with convenience. We used to go out to eat, not just to eat, but to be with people. Now it's DoorDash and Uber Eats. No human contact, no conversation, just food at the door and silence in the room. We stopped bumping into people. We stopped having to show up. Then dating changed. We started filtering our personalities through bios and apps, judging people off photos, swiping on their face before they even opened their mouths. We used to meet someone at work or at a bar. Now it's swipe, match, text, ghost, repeat. And little by little, real connection started to feel like work. And the numbers back it up. In 1990, 1/3 of Americans reported having 10 or more close friends. By 2021, that number had dropped to 13%. 1 in 5 men now say they have 0 close friendship. And Gen Z? They're feeling it the most. Only 15% say they've never felt lonely, while over half of baby boomers say the same. Meanwhile, women are facing a different kind of disconnection. By 2030, 45% of women between 25 and 44 are projected to be single and childless. It's not just an American problem either. In the UK and US, over 1 in 5 adults say they often or always feel lonely. In Europe, 57% of people aged 18 to 35 report moderate to severe loneliness. In Japan, where the word hikikomori described the people who live in extreme isolation, the government now estimates over 1.5 million citizens have withdrawn from society entirely. This is bigger than heartbreak. This is a shift in how people live.
I'm 37. I'll be 38 this year. I don't have any kids. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't talk to anybody. So I'm always alone.
I literally cannot express in words how badly I want a relationship.
Let's look at what loneliness actually does to the brain and how it can rewire the way you see people. Even when you don't even realize it, what loneliness does to you. Loneliness isn't just something you feel. It's something that physically changes you. Your brain adapts to being isolated. At first, it's protective. You become more alert, more aware. But over time, it backfires. Studies show that chronic loneliness activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. People who are lonely often misread neutral expressions as hostile. They become more self-focused, more anxious, and less trusting. And that's how the loop begins. You feel unseen, so you pull back. But when people try to reach you, you don't trust it. So you go deeper into the silence. And at some point, you stop waiting for someone to see you. And you start telling yourself, maybe I'm better off alone. And in some ways, you are. Because loneliness and solitude aren't the same thing. Loneliness is pain. Solitude is choice. And when you shift from one to the next, the energy changes completely. For some people, being alone is the hardest thing they've ever had to face. For others, it's where they finally started to feel like themselves again. When you choose to be alone on purpose, you stop asking for scraps of attention. You stop performing. You stop begging for space. You start reaching for clarity. You sit with your thoughts without music, without scrolling. And for the first time, you actually hear yourself. It's not always easy. You'll remember who you used to chase. You'll see the times you gave your all to people who gave you half. You'll remember the moments you stayed silent just to keep someone close. But solitude has a way of revealing truth. And when truth meets stillness, you don't just get peace. You get power. You become unavailable to noise, unavailable to chaos, unavailable to bare minimum energy. And when that happens, everything changes, because the most attractive energy on earth is someone who's full, even when they're alone. Let's talk about dating, because that's where most people feel it first. You match, you chat, you get your hopes up, and then silence. No closure, no explanation, just ghosting. You start to question yourself. And over time, it's not even about rejection. It's about emotional fatigue. According to Pew Research, over 60% of dating app users report feeling burnt out by the process.
I genuinely question if there is real love left, especially in our generation.
And for men under 30, many report going over a year without intimacy or romantic connection. But solitude changes the dynamic. You stop reaching for connection out of fear. You start moving with confidence. You're not begging for attention. You're not over-explaining. You're not trying to prove your worth to someone who isn't showing up fully. Instead, you observe. You get quiet. You get selective. You get sharp. You know your energy now, and you don't waste it on weak connection. You're not lonely. You're focused. You think the world will respect your peace once you found it. But the truth is, it'll try to pull you back in. People notice when you go quiet. The ones who ignored you suddenly want to check in because your peace disrupts their performance. And now that you're not available for breadcrumbs, they either have to level up or fall away. This is where most people fall back into old patterns. They think growth means isolation forever. But solitude isn't exile. It's a reset. You don't come back empty. You come back full. You don't come back needy. You come back clear. And now, you don't just connect. You choose. Maybe you didn't lose people. Maybe you just stopped chasing people who never really saw you. Maybe this loneliness isn't where you broke. Maybe it's where you began. A quiet return to yourself. a quiet return to clarity. And in that silence, you found something the world couldn't offer you, peace. And from that place, you don't just move differently, you attract different, you live different. This isn't a crisis, this is power. And you didn't lose it, you just had to get quiet enough to feel it again. As even Ishinson had said, being alone has a power that very few people can handle. To better understand this video and to better understand how we got here, check out my last video. It's been your girl, Remi Rene. I'll see you guys in my next video.